Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this concert. We're going to play two pieces of music that have to do with fireworks on the first half. The first piece that we're going to play is the music for the Royal Fireworks by George Frederick Handel. Handel was a German composer who spent most of his life in England writing for the kings that we revolted against in our American Revolution. When Handel came over to England in the teens of the 1700s, he came over to write opera in London, and he also wrote music for King George I. And then when King George I passed away, he wrote for King George II and a little bit for King George III as well. The music that you're going to hear this afternoon, the music for the Royal Fireworks, was commissioned by King George to celebrate the peace of the 7-year war of Austrian succession. And I don't know why the English were involved in that, but they were. It was the final result of that war was that Maria Theresa could become the Austrian empress. Anyway, King George commissioned a big fireworks display to celebrate the peace, and he also asked his friend and court composer George Frederick Handel to write some music to celebrate this peace. The first time it was performed with over 100 musicians, and it was done outdoors. And those 100 musicians were only oboe players, trumpet players, and horn players, and some bassoons, but there were no strings. He had a dress rehearsal, an outdoor dress rehearsal that was attended by 12,000 people. And then at the actual event, there were fewer people there, and the fireworks set the building, one of the buildings on the grounds on fire and burned the place down. As is typical for music from this era, this was written about 1749. The composers weren't writing symphonies yet. They were writing suites of music. And this is indeed a suite of music that begins with an overture in the French style, and you can recognize the French style overture by the rather jagged rhythms in the beginning. And then after that overture, there are some stylized dance movements. There's a bourrée, which was a French dance at the time. There are two movements about the peace. One is called the peace, and the other is called the rejoicing. And then there's a minuet that ends the suite. This was typical of what Bach wrote and what Handel wrote, and virtually every other composer. When they were writing instrumental music, they were taking dance music and writing it in a very stylized form for orchestra. So this is a very famous piece of music. It's a lot of fun to listen to. And to conduct it this afternoon, won't you please welcome my associate, Ms. Kristen Schaup. Thank you very much. Well, as Handel was winding down his career, that the fireworks music that you heard, he composed really within the last 10 years of his life. As he was winding down his career, so too was the Baroque style of music. It was coming to an end. It virtually came to an end when Johann Sebastian Bach died in 1750 and Handel died in 1758. At the same time, there was a new style of music that was coming out, and that's what we would call now the classical style of music. And the great proponents and inventors of that classical style of music were Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart and especially Franz Joseph Haydn. Haydn was born in the 1730s and spent most of his life working for one employer, and that is Prince Esterhazy. Back then, these fabulously wealthy people had amazing estates. Prince Esterhazy had we wouldn't call it a cottage, we would call it a palace, but he called it his country home, called Esterhazy, and he would spend his entire summers there. And not only did he own these amazing estates, the aristocracy had fabulous places, but they also literally owned orchestras. They had their own private orchestras, and in the case of Prince Esterhazy, he had his own private composer in the form of Franz Joseph Haydn. Haydn spent 40 years composing for the Esterhazys. And it was Haydn's job every morning to find out what the prince wanted to do in terms of music that day, and then it was Haydn's job to round up the other musicians in the estate, rehearse them, get them ready, and present whatever sort of concert that Prince Esterhazy wanted that day. It could have been a noontime concert, afternoon concert, evening concert, little night music, could have been an opera, could have been a ballet. If you go to the leading English encyclopedia of music, the Grove Dictionary of Music, the entry for Haydn is very, very long, and it lists all of the works that Haydn wrote in his lifetime. And that listing, little tiny 6-point type, is about 60 pages long. He just kept writing music. He wrote 104 symphonies in his life, most of them for Prince Esterhazy. This one, number 59 in A major, he wrote in about 1769, so it's 20 years younger than the fireworks music of Handel. It has the subtitle, Fireworks, but Haydn himself did not give it that subtitle. It was given by somebody else. We think because this symphony was used as the background music for a play that was called the Conflagration. The Conflagration. There's fire in the German title. That's why I couldn't think of it. So we think that that's why this was called the fireworks music or the fire music. It's got a lot of pep and zip, and it's very fiery in the first and the fourth movement. Unlike the Handel, which is a set of dance movements, this is now a full-blown symphony with 4 movements, a fast first movement, a somewhat slow second movement, a dance movement, the minuet, left over from the Baroque era. They still kept the minuet, and this time, instead of ending with the minuet, they end with a fast movement. So here is a complete symphony by Franz Joseph Haydn, number 59 in A major. Thank you very much. In the 1930s, when Maurice Ravel wrote his two piano concertos, simultaneously, I might add, he made the statement that he felt that, that a piano concerto should be lighthearted and fun to listen to, not quite so serious and ponderous as maybe a Brahms piano concerto had become by then. You know, when Mozart was writing his piano concertos, they were fun, lighthearted works, kind of meant to display the technical brilliance of the soloist and just be a lot of fun to listen to. And then in the 19th century, with Beethoven and Brahms and those people, piano concertos explored the meaning of life and everything else, and they were just quite, they're great works, but no longer lighthearted. So when Ravel set out to write this piano concerto, he intentionally kept it rather light and sparkly. As I said, he wrote this piano concerto at the same time that he was writing a piano concerto for the pianist Paul Wittgenstein, who had lost his right arm during World War I. So that's called the Concerto for Left Hand, one-handed piano concerto. This piano concerto, all three movements, if we were to play them, you'd hear all sorts of jazz influences and quirky rhythms, and that's what Ravel was intending to do. To play the first movement of the Ravel Piano Concerto for you this afternoon, won't you please welcome the 2013 winner of the Grand Rapids Youth Symphony Piano Concerto Competition. Please welcome Stephanie Pestana. All right, we've got a little scene change here. We're going to take our piano off the stage, and while we're doing this, I'm going to just talk a little bit about our 200-minute practice challenge of 2013. For a number of years now, we have been challenging young musicians to practice 200 minutes in the month of January and February so that they can get ready for their solo and ensemble and also for their school's district band and orchestra festival. So this year, 35 students from 12 middle schools all over West Michigan took the 200-minute practice challenge of 2013, and as a group, they practiced 14,575 minutes, and all of those 35 students earned 75 tickets to today's concert. So if you're here because you did that 200-minute practice, would you stand up, please? Excellent job. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much, students. And now you know the punchline to the famous joke, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice. A lot of people don't get that. There was somebody asking a cab driver in New York, can you tell me how to get to Carnegie Hall? And the cab driver says, practice, 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 okay? So of those students who are here today, we've given each one of them a player trading card from the Grand Rapids Symphony. And if you picked out the card for Elizabeth Colpine harp, if you are the lucky holder of the Elizabeth Colpine card, are you in the house? Give a shout out if you are. Where are you? Upstairs. Excellent. You win a $120 music stand with case from Guarneri House and also a $15 gift certificate to iTunes. Congratulations. And then if you are the lucky holder of the Dave Proudhon Assistant Concertmaster card, if you've got that, it's a little ironic that you've got that card. Dave Proudhon, Assistant Concertmaster. Does anybody out there have that? Who got? Oh, good. You are. We'll see. Make sure that you come up and come backstage at the end of the concert, both of you, because you can collect your rewards. You receive a $50 gift certificate to Meyer Music and a $15 gift certificate to iTunes. Congratulations. But more than that, you're a better player because you practice so much. We also had participating teachers. They didn't have to practice. They just had to get their students involved in this. We have 5 teachers that won a little drawing. They are Cindy Betts from Grand Rapids Christian Middle School, Aaron Tenney from North Point Christian, Patricia Turgeson from City Middle High School, Marie Ten Elsoff from Creekside Middle School, and Adam Davis from Baldwin Street Middle School. All of those teachers will receive a $20 gift certificate to XO Asian Restaurant downtown. So congratulate those teachers, please. And we want to give a big thank you to Guarneri House and Meyer Music and XO Asian Restaurant for participating and supplying those wonderful awards. So will you help us thank them, please? Stephanie's back on stage. She gets to collect her cash reward for winning the piano concerto. This will pay for about 1/2 of a lesson. But let's congratulate Stephanie again. There we go. So Gustav Holst once said that he hopes that composers never become famous, so that composers can just do what they want to do, write what they want to write, instead of having to write what the public demands of them. He said that after gaining worldwide fame by writing The Planets. He was kind of a humble man, the son of a church organist, spent his childhood practicing piano, and really liked nothing better than teaching school. He taught at 2 girls' schools in England. And that's what he wanted to do. He was a quiet man. He wanted to teach his girls, and he wanted to compose. But he wrote this piece called The Planets. I'll get to you, Debbie. He wrote this piece called The Planets, and his name exploded all over the world. And after that, everybody kept wanting him to write the planets again instead of what he wanted to write. And he really never reclaimed the fame with any other piece of music that he wrote. This was his big blockbuster. He's kind of a one-and-done sort of guy, even though he wrote a lot of other wonderful music, but it's not like the planets, so people didn't catch on to it. There are 7 movements to this work because the earth wasn't considered something that you looked up into the heavens to look at, so Earth was counted out. And when he wrote this back in 1909, Pluto had not been discovered yet. So those were the 7 planets that he wrote about. He was writing not about the planets themselves, but you know that for thousands of years, people have attributed certain characteristics to planets. And that's what he was writing about. He wasn't writing about astronomical discoveries. He was more writing about the mythological thought about these planets. So that's why we have the Mars, the bringer of war, Venus, the bringer of peace, Mercury, the winged messenger. That's why we have Jupiter, the bringer of jollity, Saturn, the bringer of old age. We have Uranus, the magician, and then we end with Neptune, the mystic. So this is a great piece of music. It's something that we used to try out our old stereo systems on just to see how loud we could turn up the speakers. And now we don't know if people are doing that with their iPods or not, but when their hair's standing on end, we know that they're listening to something loud. So after this little announcement from Debbie Suttner, we will be playing the planets. Debbie Suttner is the president of our Parents Association. Debbie, come on up.
Well, most of you know, or many of you know, that the Youth Symphony and Classical Orchestra have a trip planned this coming Saturday, actually, to Chicago to see the Chicago Symphony Orchestra with Yo-Yo Ma featured. So that's a very exciting time for our students. I think that they're going to have a really fun day. We'll be spending the afternoon at the Art Institute, and then from there we'll go to see CSO perform. So it's a great opportunity for our kids. For parents, I sent an email out with the final details about the trip. If you have any questions, or if you haven't received that email, check your inbox, it's there. And if you have any questions, I'll be out in the lobby afterwards to answer them. Joining us today also is an honored guest. The president of the Grand Rapids Symphony, Mr. Peter Chomey, has come to say a few words. Mr. Peter Chomey.
Well, thank you very much, Debbie, and good afternoon, everyone. Just wanted to share a few words, and I know we're going to be getting to the planets very, very soon. Enduring relationships are important to every facet of our symphony, youth symphony, and all of the organizations and people involved in our work. And sustaining an enduring organization to serve the people of our community, just like the very talented young people of our youth symphony and classical orchestra, requires experienced and dedicated leaders like John Verino. As you may know, this is John's 28th year with our Grand Rapids Symphony. I think John joined when he was about 5. I think that's right. And it's John's 25th year as conductor of our youth symphony. And just think of that, a quarter century. John has been conductor of our youth symphony for almost half the length of that this organization has been in existence. Just remarkable. And as we all know, John's enthusiasm remains undimmed. A youth symphony member once said, and I quote, "When we get something right, John is like a teenager listening to his favorite rock song. He's totally into it." That's probably the hippest thing you've ever heard me say, right, John? He's totally into it. What a great description of John and his passion for his work. He has had a remarkable tenure and has a remarkable passion for helping to educate and guide young people. You may know that we have an interesting piece of shared history. John and I both lived for many, many years in Laramie, Wyoming. Now, that might make you think of ranchers and cowboys, but it makes me think of classical music. It's a hotbed of classical music, of course. So, but John plays, back to the subject at hand, John plays a crucial role in the Symphony's education programs, which today reach more than 80,000 people each year from 12 counties. Includes his role with our youth symphony and classical orchestra, conducting side-by-side concerts in area schools, and so many, many other concerts. And if that's not enough, John is also, in his role as associate conductor of our symphony, conducts concerts across a broad variety of genres every year. So, we just wanted to say thank you to John in this 25th year. We've been finding ways to say thank you. And as John has reminded us, the white stick, or the baton, he calls it the white stick sometimes, makes no noise, which means he's helping to guide and support the success of others. And he's also reminded us that he has a real passion for a certain special representation of a conductor. So, and that may sound mysterious, but Debbie Suttner is going to be coming back out, and we're going to be doing a little presentation to help as a small gesture for John's innumerable contributions helping to educate and enrich the lives of young people across our community. So with that, I think that we have two assistants coming to help present this very special representation of a conductor. What could this be?
This is double sweetness.
John loves bobbleheads.
Yes.
I somehow tried to come out here without saying the word bobblehead, but I couldn't make it work. So here it is.
Associated with this, which I will not go into. But I just want to say that I'm really delighted to have my very own bobblehead. And I'm also delighted that there are not thousands of others like it sitting in a garage somewhere.
And how appropriate on the day of the Academy Awards.
There we go. There we go. Thank you very much, Peter. Thank you very much, Peter. It's just a real honor for me to be associated with the young musicians here on stage. I really thank you. It's not a cliche. It's not a cliche. It is part of our mission. It is part of our motto. We're listening to our future. So with that, let's listen to The Planets.
Bye.